Hi, folks. You're with Tacitus today. Tacitus today, your pushback channel. And thank you for joining this audio live stream. I'd just like to cover an issue in this essay that I haven't seen the media jumping all over. I thought they would, but the Trump administration recently either fired or didn't renew the contracts. I'm not quite sure which, of a number of, it doesn't say how many, but quite a few of the people on the American peak scientific research body. It's a kind of a quango, but it sits at the apex of the scientific research pyramid in the United States. And if you look at certainly over the last 100 years, the contribution American science has made, and science in a whole lot of categories. I'm not just talking space research but across a whole range of categories. It could be medical research and so on. The American contribution has been huge, and the American universities, when they were once merit-based, were really the places. If you wanted to be a big-time player in the international science stage, you would gag to get to an American university, Harvard, and MIT, the Ivy League type universities, to get some sort of qualification. If you were doing research papers that would put your research at the top end of town, then you would want to be peer reviewed by American scientific bodies and journals and so on. So the peak body for American scientific research and so on was really the apex player, not simply in the United States, but internationally. So you would think that there would be an absolute focus on making sure that the very best minds in scientific research and study and discovery were on this peak body. Why wouldn't you do it? It would be a mandatory requirement, you would think, for any serious economy or serious government, to have, again, the very best minds and the very best brains on this. But this is not the case. The leftist Democrats, the social engineering fanatics, went after this, and many other quangos, by the way, and this is an example of one. And what was their thing? Well, we have to have what's our mission here? Is it scientific research? No, you fucking damn Nazi, you fucking Hitler. It's not that. What it is social engineering. We have to put low IQ black lesbians on this committee and on this board, on this quango, replacing straight white males, high achieving straight white males in the process. And so we can re-engineer society. We've got to get fucking rid of those straight white males. They're all damn fucking Hitler Nazis, swastikas. And so it was much to my surprise when I looked at Now, it's a bit hard to tell who's in the executive committee, who's the management leadership team. There seems to be a bit of fluidity there. And if you look at who's been on recently, and it rotates, these positions. But clearly DEI and affirmative action, race, gender quotas are the priority. Certainly not putting, and some of the minorities they've put on. These are people that would have flunked out of junior high school, yet they've been given. This is the DEI affirmative action pathway. That in order to create an equal society, we have to gift, prestige and awards and rewards and certification. We have to gift it to these people, and that will somehow, by a magical miasma, that will create an equal society. If everyone has the same bit of paper, then we're all equal, okay? Yeah, right. What, you disagree with that, you fucking Nazi? So there are people there who, again, would have flunked out of junior high. They gifted their junior high school diploma, gifted their senior high school diploma, gifted their entrance to a prestigious Ivy League university, gifted their degree, gifted their master's, gifted their PhD, gifted their research, and then gifted these very prestigious and often well-paid positions. Then they go on speaking tours for $10,000 a throw and so on. These people that couldn't add one and one. And some of them have been, you can actually find interviews online where they've attended some interview somewhere, and you go, what a fucking moron. This person's been touted as a scientific genius. So clearly, and obviously and manifestly. Now, I don't know on what basis the President Trump's administration has fired these people, but the ones, certainly as best I can tell, the ones that have been fired are the affirmative action appointments, the DEI, the quota, the race gender quota, flunkies and hangers-on and parasites. And I hope they are replaced with, again, the very best minds in scientific research, and the ones who've produced the very best work in game-changing scientific research and published, peer-reviewed, and this sort of thing. And there's not even the slightest hint of. There's a decent representation of Jewish lesbians, but they may actually be good. I would suspect not, but they may be on balance. Certainly most of the Jewish people in these, not all, by the way, academic fields. Some of them are very good. But nonetheless, let's come back to it. Anything other than a merit-based system, particularly in something like scientific research, for goodness sakes, that doesn't make it mandatory to have the very best qualified people, the very best brains, and the geniuses and all that sort of thing, of which there are quite a few in the United States. But the problem is that by far and away the vast majority of these high accomplishing people are straight white males, and this is where the problem is. Ideologically, that's the last thing you want. Straight white males, they're all fucking Hitler. Whereas the low IQ, moronic, black lesbian, that's social progress. So as long as these two things are in the reality, which is necessity for the very best minds, and the insane ideology, let's put a low IQ black lesbian in there, that sooner or later the reality does catch up. It just sometimes takes a bit of time, and I would hope the administration of President Trump continues to clear out all of these, not just the scientific one, but all of these quangos, clear them out of affirmative action, race, gender, quota people, and put the very best people in there and give them decent term contracts and so on, so that they can't be kicked out by the next lot of lunatic Democrats that come along. You've been attached to us today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.